Welcome back to beautiful Malta, here for the PPC Championship main event. And it's that time. It's final table time. Just 9 remain from the 848 that started off this €550 buy-in event. And Jack, we're going to give someone 81 grand a little bit later today.
That's right. Me and you are gonna hand it over.
That comes out of our personal fortunes.
Yep.
Damir Savio. All right. We knew there was action on the other tables because, well, there were knockouts galore. There we go. 6.7 million for him. Jingchun, second in chips from that table as well with 46 blinds. 2 Brits. Had a good run of it on our table. Massimo Rossi started as chip leader. Has fallen down to the middle of the pack, as has Federico Petruzzelli. Those two have been involved in a lot of the action. And also, most importantly, perhaps for the rail, for the chat, we do have Wow in seat 3. He likes strains. It says it on his hoodie. And I'm sure he likes being on final tables as well. For years, these streams would always be starting like, oh, the finals start late, the stream's starting late. No, just put a big delay in them. Cirillo, Ace King first hand in the final, Ace Queen second hand. Rossi doesn't like to fold. Ace 3 suited in the cutoff. He's coming in. I mean, who does like to fold, in fairness?
Got to be in it to win it.
Gudgeon, Ace 10 suited in the small. Very attractive looking hand. He also is going to join in. Oh, what a spot for the squeeze. Petruzzelli. Do you reckon he's already looked at his cards and he's just looking again, pretending it's the first time? Or do you reckon that's a nice surprise for him to look down at?
I think that would have been the first look, I'm guessing.
Well, we know what's happening here. It's moving in. And,
well,
Cirillo, real tough. Like, he watched Petruzzelli playing with 2 tables left and saw he was, quite clearly capable. He was in there mixing it up. And this is like a very good squeeze spot because we know Rossi peels, so many hands. And then Gudgeon's peeling from the small. Obviously, I mean, doesn't really ever have traps, surely.
Yeah, it's a good point. I wonder if you could make a loose call here just based on that, but I think it's just quite a standard fold with this action.
Right.
With you opening early position and him jamming big blind with 2 calls. But you're right, Rossi is going to be far too wide in this spot, and then Gudgeon's pretty heavily capped. I mean, Gudgeon's basically dead money in this spot if you shove. So I can see it.
Well, no. It was a good problem to rely. I might have fallen for that.
Yeah, I mean, to call like Ace Queen off is just it's a pretty big gamble to call off there versus the range of the big blind.
Yeah, especially, and we did see the chip stacks obviously at the start of the final. There's quite a few down there who could conceivably bust. Ladders don't look to be the hardest things to come by.
Yeah, now the ICM actually matters a little bit.
Yeah.
Or I guess it started mattering at 10 left.
Well, they got comfortable for a second, but the blinds are up 61-20. Hello. Petruzzelli popping up Ace Queen +2. Cirillo with 12 blinds. And the Butchers.
Quick fold from DeBella. Strange.
Well, Cirillo managed to make a pretty strong fold of ace queen against Petruzzelli. The tables are turned.
This is more like 16, 17 big blind shove?
No, less. We're
less even.
Yeah, we're at 120k, so it's only 12 blinds.
12 blinds, I think you got to call here.
Doesn't feel great, does it? But
you hate having ace queen in all spots. But if you're always happy to see kings. That's the one hand that ace queen does well against.
Ace queen's favorite against kings.
Ace queen
one.
Ace queen always wins against kings.
All right. That sort of insight is why we have Mr. Jack Sinclair in here.
That's why you hired me.
One last recheck. It's usually met with the old right hand reaching for the chips, and in they go, but still not sure. Everything we were just saying, these pay jumps are... I suppose it's a little less important when he's not... Yeah, rechecking the count. It's not his life on the line. It's the one saving grace for the spot. We'd still have about a million chips behind. Can he fold this, Jack? Can he get away from this?
He can.
Wow.
It's quite possible if you put it into a ICM calculator, it says it's a fold.
Great fold.
But I generally try and play looser than those models.
Well, lives to fight another day.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind folding there if you had if you only just had him covered, and you were very likely to bust if you call and lose.
Yeah, he was still going to have 8 blinds, I think.
Yeah, playable stack and.
Well done, though. Petruzzelli, well done.
Well, I mean, he was going to win the hand, so.
Oh, he was going to win. So in that case, badly done.
Yeah, I mean,
badly done.
Missed out on that sweet ace queen versus king setup.
Does Cirillo play the rush?
Looks like it. Yeah, I mean, well, these guys behind aren't doing anything. DeBella.
Whoa. 5 high. That's a good enough hand. Snap all in.
He's good for that. Okay, so maybe it was genuine tank before.
Wow, this is a bit bizarre. Well, you're going to be loving it when you're Cirillo. I think you know. Hopefully I'm live here. You're going to find out you're way ahead. So
imagine calling Queen Jack and seeing the 4-5. I mean, you hit it because you kind of expect to lose this one with Queen Jack. Yeah. I mean, the 5-4 has just gotten it in so bad. It's just destined to be rewarded.
Wout's eyebrows there just kind of shot to the top of his forehead. And he saw that. They're all happy to see it. They all want to see this man all in at risk. Shot the ladder up for all. As we say, a bigger ladder than the next couple of spots. Queen in the window, but it's the heart.
Wow.
Queen Jack pretty. So look, he's like, how unlucky have I got here? DeBella says.
Unbelievable.
The faintest of chances still surviving this one. That is not.
That's it.
One of them. That's a bit of overkill. DeBella out in 9th place. I'm saying 5,400 euros for his efforts. The remaining 8 are guaranteed 8.
What can I do? What can I do? I had 5-4. He called me with Queen Jack off.
Cold deck.
What was he thinking?
Man. Good stuff for Cirillo. Want someone out. Could have been better. Could have got action hand before.
Okay.
Here we go. This man was splashing about last night. He sat here, he's folded an orbit. That's enough.
265.
Ah, Rossi, 2-5. It's the following hand. The 2-6s worked. What do we say with the 2-5s, Jack?
This is a tough spot for sure.
Call 265.
Call, not an option I would have considered. Doesn't...
Wow. This gives Hutchins an opportunity there, doesn't it? You opening off over 4 mil.
Yeah, Hutchins could definitely call here.
Call 265.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Rossi call. I don't think... I think just so many players behind, I think I would just fold this hand.
No, the big blind, the chip leader. Let's give up Jack 7-0 to 2 calls and an open. You've got them all figured out. He's got the live 2 overs. Three in the window. How's your day going, Hutchins? Rossi sees a check. He's going to stab the 9-8-3 with his 2-5s and a diamond. Hutchins got like this because Rossi's splashy. I think there's a very good chance he takes his man out here.
Yeah, this situation looks great for Hutchins. Definitely want to just call here.
Mm-hmm.
Rossi's so short that, like, if U is folding, then you don't want to raise because the stack to pot ratio is going to be like almost less than half. So you don't have to worry too much about getting the
Well, he has raised.
chips in. And the thing is, if U has something reasonable here, he might continue as well, which is good. He might check raise with an overpair. And if you raise it, I mean, it just looks incredibly strong here.
Yeah. Seems a little too eager.
Yeah, I think he's just a bit worried about the drawy nature of the board, right? Like if you overcalls and then it comes to 10 of diamonds, then you kind of regret not raising. But I think it's very likely that you is folding anyway.
Yeah.
So if you're playing heads up most of the time with Rossi, then you don't care what the turn card is. You're never folding anyway.
Well,
And your hand's so strong, I think you want to give you the opportunity to come along there.
that dealer's done enough damage. We're going to switch things up. Massimo Rossi. Shortest 9 bigs after that peel and lead. About second shortest 12 bigs. Brad just ahead on 14. But it is Damir and Ollie Hutchins leading the way with Jingchun Yu not too far behind.
All
Wow,
right.
ripping the button. Ace
Train
4.
has
Yu.
left the station.
Yeah, here we go. The train might get a spin here. Jack, you've really set the chat into overdrive here.
Yes, I was joking, guys. It was a facetious comment.
Yeah.
They haven't. I was excited to see these guys play, given the chat, and then they didn't play a hand for 20 minutes. Very, very easy to not get a hand for 20 minutes in live poker.
Well,
I have been playing live poker for quite a while.
well, that's alive. He's ahead. It's a good result when you ripped ace 4 and being matched by the small blind. Hopefully chat got something to cheer about here. Well, ace in the window is a pretty good start. 5 run off behind, only Jack 10 to really worry about.
Or a king or a queen.
Yeah, that never happens. They never catch the 2-pair. Dealer holding the suspense for the
The suspenseful
inconsequential river.
Yeah.
All right, boys in the chat, you can be happy now. Wout's doubled, and Jack was just teasing you all. Yeah. Savio 2 3s. The chip lead, he's gonna have a little splash. Ah, Rossi, here we go. Jack, here we go. He gets a shot at it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this flat from you. I think you should just fold. Yeah, I mean, chip leader opening from low jack, I think, and stack's not really deep enough. I think just folding queen 9 there is best. Could maybe 3-bet. Now he's going to be in a horrible spot. Going to be getting a great price. Savio should have a pretty easy fold here.
Yeah, it's a lovely spot for Rossi.
Oh no, okay.
Savio's just going to ISO. Either way, a lovely spot for Rossi. Well, Rossi wants to see these kings survive. The rest will love to see a 3 for more ladders. I'm making him sweat for it, Jack. Oh, king in the window. Well, that'll settle that one. Only the running 3s would do it.
0% the calculator's given him.
Oh, I think it's rounded that down.
Yeah, now it's 0.
Well, Queen 9 would have got there. There you go. Savio folds the 3s.
Yep.
You gives him a spin. And we'd be down a man.
Yeah, it's funny that the Savio has been playing a tight strategy, but then decides to isolate the 3s there. Like, yeah, he's only got 8.5 big blinds, but I don't think he's jamming deuces. Maybe not even. I mean, maybe he jams 4s, but that's pretty bad. And it's not impossible that you has a hand that's calling the ISO. which would be a disaster if we would just like have flatted tens, jacks. It's absolutely, definitely possible. Six, 6, stack.
An ace king. A devilishly difficult hand to play at times. Oh dear. Not ideal for Savio with ace king. Gudgeon finding 2 kings in the small. Great news for he though. Great spot. For another double for the Brit. He's had what? He's won the 2 all-ins, hasn't he, Jack Gudgeon? But they've both been with a little bit of a sweat. The flop to set 6s, went behind to a straight, house up in the river. Then he had his ace king versus ace 7 suited and had to fade the flush draw on the turn.
Yeah, a lot of excitement with Gudgeon.
He just wants just a clean win will do. No, 2 diamonds on the flop. Savio with the king of diamonds. We all know what's coming on the turn.
Oh,
wow. I wasn't thinking that.
That's
cruelty.
That's brutal.
That is just pure cruelty. But this is how he does it. Can he find the 1 out on the river to provide us with more drama on this final table? He cannot. Well, GG Gudgeon.
You learned that from me, eh? What? You learned that from me.
8th place for 8,000.
You also made 7s fold.
Yeah.
That's yeah, that's just grim, Jack.
This time sevens wasn't good though.
Chip
Always a
leader.
tough one to take. Feels like you're doing much better than 70-30.
Right. He certainly was off the flop. Chip leader has more. Petruzzelli looking for action this time, Jack, with his jacks. And he's going to get it.
Now he's going to get some.
He is going to get it. It's been coming, these 2 clashing. It's going to occur in pretty much a cold deck.
Going to be a good old-fashioned flip. Big slick versus the hooks.
I mean, it feels like Savio just wins this. Petruzzelli's been trying everything he can, and this guy's just been waiting. Take 1 shot at him, finish him off. Oh, Jack just got thrown in the muck as well. Like you say, Jack, a classic flip. Can Savio get over 10 million? Or will Petruzzelli become a real force? I mean, he's a force already, but give him some chips as well.
This is a huge pot.
Well, 2 spade flop, Jack. Savio has not improved yet, but has become the favourite in this pot. Equity swapping around. Ooh, black card. Heart would have fluttered a beat or two. Ace.
He offering the swap.
Force fade. An ace! An ace on the river. Savio eliminating Petruzzelli, who, well, Jack, we just mentioned, he'll go home knowing that he did try everything. Very active on both the last two tables.
Yeah, he played well. Good game. Just
Hard
unlucky.
away from becoming a real force. There is the man who is the real force. Over 10 million in chips. Way out in front as our chip leader. As well, we are reduced to just the 6 players, but I am happy to say that with Petruzzelli's departure means the arrival of none other than Mr. Henry Kilbane. How are we doing, Henry?
Hey, good evening, chaps. Yeah, pretty fun hand to jump in on and sweat. The old 2-spade board. It almost felt like it was impossible for the jacks to hold there.
Yeah, it was,
Oh, he's taking the spot. All
here
right,
we
boys.
go. Interesting, because he passed the ace-8 blind on blind, and now he's taking ace-9 with 2 active players behind. So
Hey, King Jack is just gonna flop a royal.
very, very interesting change. Like, how did he fall ace-8 in the big to a small blind jam, but ripping the ace-9? Either way, off we go.
Yeah, but see, he got in ahead here, James. Whereas blind versus blind, he would have been flipping. So
That's true. Man knows his stuff. Look at that trophy in the background. Who's going to take it?
PPC. I just can't. How does the King Jack lose here? It's just so beautiful.
Well, it's unlikely to lose now.
Wait, whoa,
And
whoa.
4 flop.
You don't say that with 2 cards to come, mate. Come on.
There's a
You
man who's
should know
been
better.
outdrawn too many times.
Oh, I do play PLO for a living. Uh-oh.
Well,
More
Jack
outs than he
improved.
had on the flop.
but has it?
More outs than he had on the flop. It's 33% increase, boys and girls. No dice.
Ah, not to be. Cirillo gets the W. Down to 5 blinds.
1,000,006.
All right.
1,600,000.
Henry just dialed into what's coming on the flop there. Called that in advance. That's how you do it.
35.
Jungle saying Cirillo looks like Henry Kilbane in that picture. Don't see it myself personally. He's far better looking than me.
Oof, Henry's going for. He's like. I think he's fishing for compliments here. I'm not going to help him out. I'm just going to remain silent on that one.
I know. I was about to say he's also won more money in poker this year than me by this score alone. So who's the real champion?
There we go.
But no, boys, I was going to ask. I was scrolling on Twitter the other day and I saw a certain Matt Savage responding to the fact that Tyler would be joining both myself and you, Dempsey, in the commentary booth. And there's something mentioned about golf and whatnot. So I was keen to
He's been-
kind of
Yeah, so
dig into that one.
Savage is prodding me to make sure Dempsey comes to his annual golf tournament this year. It's a
Yeah.
little bit, it's just right before the series, so it's not too far out of Dempsey's way, but for some reason, James has not committed to this golf tournament yet, and Savage is a little, I don't know, butthurt.
Yeah, I've been talking to him actually whilst we've been streaming. I've been messaging him, and he's sort of thing. The problem is, Tyler, my index is a little bit low to turn up to this gambling convention. I much prefer it. Like previous years, I turn up with like 14. Now I'm coming in with like a 7.5. It's not ideal. Like
Yeah, we all kind of knew that was the issue.
you gotta game select, you know.
Meanwhile,
In all seriousness, yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, wow, popping up ace 7. You cards in the 5 bigs. Ace jack. Savio want to I guess. I guess Henry here, if he rips us in and makes fold, it's not a bad situation, even if you doubles. But here we go.
Yeah, I think weirdly Savio is kind of incentivized to keep you and Schuurbiers as short as possible, right? Because then he can just apply a ton of pressure on the middling stacks.
Oh. Ace Jack comfortably ahead this time.
Chat calling for a 7.
There is a 7, but a Jack rolled out first. So he has to hit a 7 again.
Oh, a bunch of Schuurbiers fans in the chat, huh?
Oh yeah, he's the fan favorite, that's for sure. He's going to lose this pot and drop back down.
You increased his equity by about 23% by standing out of his chair.
I don't think that works anymore. I think I think
it
the chairs know.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think that works anymore. I hope it doesn't work anymore. I've never been a stand-up guy. Like I've always just stayed sat. So I think it's about time we got our go with the edge.
Yeah, but the reason you don't stand up is because you 4-bet jam pocket 4s with like 18 left with 1 mil up top. You're just fearless, mate.
Yeah, you've got a pair, haven't you? It's really hard to make a pair and hold them. Here we go. A look at the chip counts for the first time in a while. It gives you an idea just how far ahead Damir Savio is. So Cirillo just doubled up to the chip lead.
And how close everybody else is. They're all very bunched.
Yeah, it is now. Really, really tightened up there. Out down to the shortest. It could all happen. It could all not happen as well, with them also equal. All right, Yu's ripping from the hijack. Ace 8. Cirillo in the big with 2 10s. We are going to see 5, and Yu is at risk.
Oh boy.
Well, if Cirillo holds, well, whoever wins the spot is obviously going to vault into second, but they'll be quite a bit clear of the pack at that point. And imagine for Samir, for the chip leader, probably rather you wins this and have to keep the chips to his right. Cirillo seems quite capable. Probably don't want him having a bunch of chips on the left.
Yeah, by the way, like my first gut reaction was this is just such a nit roll, but at the same time, it's one of those spots where he's just like has an edge over the table.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily want to take the spot, which I can get behind, especially if you're a young poker player. 80k is probably life-changing, whereas 13k is probably not as life-changing.
Well, let's see. 2 10s. Comfortable favourite. Put the ace in the window. Followed by the 2 queens.
That is, yeah.
Cirillo reduced just the 2 outs. I suppose a king or jack would give some additional. This is cruel. Just the 10 will do it. You! Card away from himself being the clear second place stack with 5 left. And that's exactly the situation he finds himself in. Good game, Cirillo. Good game. Very unlucky there, boys. But 13k helps soften the blow. Oh, sorry. I say 13k. Sorry. He's still got spin stack. Apologies.
I'm pretty good for him.
Now, this is a funny spot. Wouter knows Savio's opening pretty much any two. Got 2 sixes and what 11 blinds, but you've got that stack on 3 or 4 blinds to your right. You're thinking, oh. I think what we've been mentioning, that the pay jumps aren't traditional. I think you've just got to go with this, but there's also no shame in folding.
Well, it's easy to see here with because we can see Savio's hand, but usually when there is a really close spot like that, if it's a small pair, then you're almost always flipping. So even if when you get it in, you're not done. Oh my goodness!
Did you see this as well? Did you see what happened before this? Rossi was squeezing the cards, and you squeezed them with him. And you actually reacted like, I think you must have seen the queen first and the 5 on it. You reacted like negatively. Like, oh, you didn't get a good hand. Then you just ripped it in anyway and shows it.
Wow.
We're paying for 80 grand here, guys. This isn't a home game.
What is going on, boys?
There we go. Jingchun, you second in chips. Massimo, Rossi third in chips. It is still Damir, Savio out in front. The other 3 pretty short. Well, Federico very short. We're going to come back to even a higher body level, of course. Is it 1-2, I guess, after this? But we'll be back in, what, about 10 minutes? 15 minutes. 14 minutes. There we go. 14-minute break, guys. So please don't go too far. We'll have more of this PPC Malta main event final table.